Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, grim, and perilous master, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Cubicle 7's outstanding Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. And with me today are the stars of our Salt, Silver, and Sin campaign, which is set in the northernmost province of the Empire, Nordland. And I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Darren.
Hello there, yeah, Darren here. I'm playing Alwyn Carlson, who is a human outlaw. And as always, he's got his trusty family pet, Astrid.
Nice. Somewhat not listening family pet, but she makes what she lacks. Yeah, in discipline, she makes up for in cuteness.
Downtime. We need some downtime for that.
And next up is Colin, a.k.a. Spoik Pit.
Hello there. Yeah, I am playing Frederick Schuster. He's a hunter, a human hunter, with aspirations to be a great adventurer and teller of tales.
Very nice. And last, but certainly not least, is Carl.
I'm playing Katerina, who is a priest of Shalia.
Very nice. So last time, guys, saw the it was the final. We finished up. We started our session with a scrap. What happened last time?
Yeah, we finished our fight with the mutants and the scary dog-like creatures.
Yes, the Chaos Sheep.
Yep, on our way to the coaching inn, where we found ourselves. Well, some of the party found themselves getting a little bit lubricated and a little bit merry. Some dwarf, unnamed dwarf, got a little bit tipsy. We met and we also met an old. Well, I don't know if he was ill, but he weren't under the best of. He weren't the best of health. He had a bit of a cough and that. But was it Varna? Is that right? Did I write that down right? Varna.
Werner?
Can't remember. Varna.
That could be correct.
Something. Like
Let's see.
that.
Did I put it in chat? Let's see.
He's a courier, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he travelled the roads, delivering messages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, we had a bit of a drink and recovery overnight. We've still got our wounded mercenary in tow, who had a bit of a rough night. So it looks like he might have to stay for another day.
Yeah. That's right. Are you guys staying? I don't remember how we... I was fairly confident I remembered everything that happened last night. Last time, and now I'm thinking, like, I don't actually remember how it ended, whether you guys
we were going to take that guy's stuff up, up to...
Valna. Katerina just had agreed to...
Right.
After finding... Well, the problem was the innkeeper woke up Katerina to let her know that he died during the night, this guy.
Yeah.
And he had a parcel or some belongings that he was meant to be taking. Mm-hmm. So Katerina agreed to deliver the package. Completely.
I don't know if it was an Olden Leeds or Salzamund. I don't know where.
It was going to Salzamund.
Okay.
Yeah, the Olden Leeds is where you'll be going to try and catch they call it I think it's the Silver Train that comes down from the hills around Olden Leeds and is transported downriver to Salzamund and then elsewhere in the Empire. Let me tell you, I was reading it this morning, as I am wont to do.
But I think we agreed to stay one more day to give. What's his name? Why haven't I got it? Can't remember his name. The mercenary guy.
That is he's in.
Aaron? Is it Aaron?
that might be Errant. Yeah, Stressdorp.
Aaron, yeah. So he's going to give him another day to try and get travel worthy at least.
Okay.
And I think I was still slightly wounded,
Yeah.
even though I did recover quite well with Katarina's blessings.
Did John miss last session? He must have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we can't have two priests in the same game, apparently.
It's like a Night Below campaign where for about 6 months we only had one gnome at a time. One person plays a gnome, a forest gnome. One person plays a deep gnome, and they would regularly swap
Never
out.
the twain shall meet. Never.
Exactly.
I think Arn has to stay here, right? We can't.
He is.
I don't know if we can bring him.
Yeah, with
At the
the
moment, yeah, he wasn't travel worthy, was he?
no. So, anything else you recall before we can pick up for that morning and we can discuss in character whether you guys are going to carry on or whether you're going to remain for an extra day. But
I feel like there were some revelations from the old courier.
He did give us some sort of tidbits about there was greenskins to the west,
That's right.
cultists to the south, and I think it was
It's all going to
way.
hell in a
Yeah,
handcart, the whole place.
some northern types to the east, but
yeah.
and there was obviously things connected to that, but we didn't really go into much detail.
He's in a career right now, but his previous career path was downer at the end of the bar. So I'm trying to see. I might. Oh no, I got it. Good. All right. And thanks to Darren's recommendation,
There you go.
got a printed copy of Tribes and Tribulations. So yeah, we are ready. There's some devilish templates in there, so I do apologize for the two-headed chaos troll that will be inevitably the quantum two-headed chaos troll. It does not matter where you go, you will run into them.
Just run. We'll just run.
They're going to be waiting wherever you are. It's like a poorly designed video game. Anywhere you go, you're getting the same fucking encounter. So then let's, I think we've got our summary. Yes, and the other thing that was of particular interest to Frederick is you discussed your favorite topic.
The Schusters.
No, well, I mean, you did discuss that a little bit too, but no. What is Sam Gamgee's favorite thing at the outset of the...
Oh, elves. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew there was a revelation. Yeah, it was the elves. We was talking about that area of woodland, with a forest.
Yeah, the Lorelorn Forest.
Yes.
So, then, unless there's anything else we need to touch on for our refresh, why don't we head on over to the tavern map, and we can pick things up with breakfast. First breakfasts. And where's my... I need to clear up some of the maps out of here. I got a little over anxious with all these things when we were playing the Three Feathers adventures. There we go.
I've had a further idea that perhaps we should discuss at some point about my interest in elves.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm working on that. That's yeah, work in progress.
I have spent some time on the going beyond what's in Solzhenmund. There's some interesting stuff in Solzhenmund anyway, but the old world is a vast and complicated world, so I've been delving into Elvish history in there to figure out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we talked because I'd explained to him that glade type magical place I'd come across, and there was speculation that it could have been some kind of area of ruin with previous.
Yeah. This whole
Previously
region
occupied
here,
by elves.
there were elven colonies before mankind came to these lands. There were elven colonies in much of this stuff, and the Lorelorn Forest is a legacy of that. And there is even an interesting the Lorelorn, for as a non sequitur, one of the nice things that they did do in the early releases is give you some great stuff about like elven homelands and dwarvish homelands in Archives of the Empire. The first Archives of the Empire has some great stuff for that in there. So while they didn't release a like elvish source book or dwarvish source book, they give you a bunch of great stuff in that one of the earliest releases. So that I really like.
That discussion also triggered off the speculation about how this would all go down with our dwarven friend. Because we had that conversation as well. I remember there was quite a lot of things cropped up in the last session in terms of all that.
Yeah,
how it all goes together.
Dwarves have memories even longer than their beards, and they hold grudges unlike any other race. So I also started my re-listen of all the Gotrek and Felix novels. Yeah. Fucking love those.
I've got to check that out. I must do that still.
They are. I enjoy them so much. There's one moment that, especially if it sounds like you have played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay since first edition as well. There's a moment in it that is particularly rewarding for those players where I'm listening like, wait a minute. I think I've heard this scene before. So it's, really fucking great stuff. So we'll assume that Thognoth is sleeping one off for now. Anything else you guys recall from last session that we need to cover, or are we ready to join with breakfast? So then, Katarina, you were the one who has diagnosed the courier as having passed on, and I can't remember which of you volunteered to carry the supplies or the delivery for it. The innkeeper or the proprietor of this inn did say that he was happy to. He would have requested that, knowing that you guys were having a Salzman wound anyway, but you had volunteered already, so that was greatly appreciated on his part. How do you let Alwyn and Frederick know that this guy?
I had discussed it to get there. It was a collective agreement. I thought
to take. Oh, was there? Okay, maybe that happened last time.
Yeah, I discussed it with them and said, "Hey, but you want to do this?" And they said, "Yeah." So I thought,
okay. So then we'll pick up with you guys sitting around with breakfast. Alwyn is still a little under the weather. Frederick is still a little, aching and whatnot from the fight, and Errant is bedridden.
Yeah, can't they make an endurance check to get some points back?
I think we did that in the morning already, didn't we?
Yeah, that's how I've got 9. I've got 9 hit points now. Yeah, I think I had a critical success. I got double back.
That sounds right, yeah.
That's meaning you managed to do some...
I can normally get 4 back. I got 8 back, I think.
Yeah, I seem to remember doing okay on that, right?
Yes, 66. Which normally would mean you lose your nose and roll, Master. So, then, what are you guys planning on doing?
We want to take off, I think.
We're going to leave Aaron, are we?
Yeah, I mean, he has enough money to, and when he recovers, he can, present himself at the Temple of Shali, and we'll figure it out. I mean, unless we wanted to wait. Do we want to wait a few days? I mean, as the innkeeper, how critical this courier's mission was, or did he?
As he's putting things down, he says, "I don't know. If they're getting it delivered at any point, they can't very well complain, can they?"
That's quite true. Yep.
That is true.
And he places the things down on the table in front of you guys near your meal. This one in particular, it seems to have come quite far. And if you look at it, what you can see is there are seals on it. And let's see here, does anyone, let me quickly justify my GM screen here. Anyone have a like geography lore or anything like that? Anything that would suggest?
I'll probably have Lore Reichland.
I've got Nordland law.
Lore Empire, I believe. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have Lore. I have Lore Empire.
Lore Empire. Give us that roll, please. That'll. And this will be at. This will be easy.
Got it.
Awesome.
Barely.
So here's what you find on it. So as you're looking over this thing, as I said, there are seals all across this, and what is interesting is that among them there is a seal that is the golden line of Nuln. There is another one that's a black tower on red, which is from Estalia, outside of the Empire. And there's a bunch of other ones from that. Some are remnants, some are more still intact. This thing may very well have crossed the length of the Empire, south to north, or at least from southwest all the way up here. So the package, whoever the recipient is going to be, most definitely is has got it coming from very far away.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever that person is likely going to be very grateful for the delivery. That is the only really large package. Everything else is just, a bundle of individual correspondence.
Okay.
I mean, this is all very exciting. I think we should perhaps get it back as soon as we can. I for one, I'm very curious to know what it's all about. Hopefully, we'll find out.
Okay. Yeah. He can leave. All right. He's got money to be able to stay here. Like I said, he'll present himself to the church, the temple in Salzman of Shalia.
Okay.
Well, at least, I was going to say, at least we won't be a drain on his resources because he was paying for us, wasn't
he? Yeah.
And he doesn't need to feel to be pressured into moving on when he's not ready. He can come at his own pace.
Right.
Okay. So then you'll be packing up or finishing up your meals and then heading on from the sound. So one thing to decide, it'll take you about a day to reach Oldenleach, so long as nothing goes awry.
Mm-hmm.
But
strolls.
And when do things go awry in the old world? Come on. I am looking for this. So the Enemy in Shadows companion gives rules for travel. Downtime. Or endeavors, I should say. That's their game mechanic term for downtime activities. It's only going to be one stage to get there, so you're only going to be able to complete one of those things. But let's start with, we have yet to determine who is the Dave of our campaign. Who wants to take the credit/blame for weather rolls?
Go for it, Darren.
Darren has just raised his hand. So, Darren, why don't you give us a D100 roll?
Back.
Yep. You get to enjoy the life of a meteorologist in the sense that you get no credit for when the weather's nice and nothing but blame when the weather's shit. So,
okay. Is this
just a
D100
percentile roll,
or
please?
Yeah.
Hey.
70.
Well, we know it's going to snow. It's hardly worth rolling.
This is actually fair weather. Oh no, this is springtime, isn't it? No, we said it was the start of summer, so this is fair weather. It looks like it's going to be a lovely day for travel.
Oh.
Scattered clouds, but nothing significant. So The endeavors, if you have the Enemy in Shadows Companion, it's on page 34, but I'll put in chat for those who don't what the options are for what you can choose to do during your downtime. And the reason I want to use it is because it helps inform encounters. This is a neat way, rather than rolling encounters and then choosing what you're doing, the encounters flow from what you choose to do with your travel endeavors.
There's me pondering a sentence that I never thought I would hear Kev say. Today's weather will be in fact it's any sort of fair weather under any circumstances is just not something I ever expected to hear on this channel.
Well, it does say something when it's not Dave rolling for weather. I think that's funny. I can't remember what game it was, but there was another game we were playing where none of the players have actually played with Dave at that point, and it was still already, they're like, oh man, I rolled like Dave. So his reputation had preceded him.
Wow.
But again, he does not get the credit for when the weather does go nice.
That's it.
All right, so there are the options. Woodcraft is really only useful for avoiding inclement weather. So you don't need to worry about that unless you want to search out your storm chasers in the old world. Forage is to supplement your rations. Gather information is talking among the folks that you meet along the way, and that could happen here. Keep watch is that if you're successful, you cannot be surprised during the journey. Map the route is a cartography or drawing check. I don't think that either of you have that, so you really can't take advantage of that, or any of you have that. Practice a skill will allow you to reverse the result of one test used during that at any point during the journey. Recuperate counts as if you were taking it easy for the purpose of healing wounds. This is you maybe running into a cart and sitting on the back and riding in that as opposed to walking the whole way. Or make camp. This is choosing to make basically to set yourselves up for better recovery. That one, because you're going to reach Olden Leets today, I think we can probably interpret that as being more like talking to people along the way, figuring out like the best place to stay. It's making sure you're going to have comfortable accommodations about Olden Leets. We also haven't talked about Olden Leets yet in specifics, but Olden Leets is actually located on an island. There's a causeway that leads out to it, and then it is on an island, and unlike a lot of other places, perhaps Altdorf might be the only exception here, it's much higher than what most old world, or at least empire cities are. Because of the restricted land use, it can't sprawl out, it needs to go up. So there's cramped streets and very high buildings that you can find there, and it keeps itself well defended from the greenskins and beast folk that come out of the hills to the west and south. So let me see if there are any other You can also perform endeavors from the core book as well, if they make sense in a day's travel. So, any thoughts as to what you guys wish to do for your endeavors?
I think the best bet for Katarina is probably gather information that uses like gossip or charm or something. So.
Yep, it uses gossip. So why don't you give us a challenging gossip roll, please?
Well, oh well.
Do you want to fortune point that?
Yeah.
Let me move us over to the actual map too. Hold up.
No one wants to talk to us. It's fine.
Actually, well, there may be a consequence from bad fillers. Let me see here. So then, would you... Let me just adjust this here. Yeah. All right. So you're not going to fortune point that?
No.
Okay. Would you give us a D100 roll, please, Carl? Okay. We're going to roll all of them, then we'll figure out in fiction what sort of happened here. So, Frederick or Alwyn, what are you guys thinking?
I was thinking to do the same, gossiping after. I feel like having spoken to the old guy, met him in the inn. I'm quite keen to hear some more stories and gather some more intelligence, and
Yep.
seems on brand.
Okay, why don't you give us a gossip check, please? That's challenging.
Oh,
Fortune
Yeah,
point that.
must have really upset someone then. No, I'll let that stand.
Okay, would you give us a D100 roll, please? Okay. And Alwyn, what are you thinking?
I'm still a little bit under the weather, so I'm thinking about keeping watch in case there's anything still following us on the roads or.
Okay. So would you give us a challenging perception check, please?
Yeah, it's not great at perception. That's something he needs to work on. Let's give it a go. Oh,
Pretty good. So then you cannot be surprised on this journey. And would you give us a D100 roll, please?
would be 27.
Okay. All right. So, what you find is that there is actually a fairly large contingent of folks who are leaving from this place at the crossroads near a bunch of local settlements who are heading in. And among their number, these are folks who did not stay at the coaching inn, at least not all of them. Some, it seems, were I mean, to call it lurking is a bit of a pejorative, but it's a fairly large, maybe about 30 people who look extraordinarily pathetic. Like they clearly have fled something or have, you know, they have the look of you know, of refugees, of people who have, you know, when you see people carrying, you know, chairs and, you know, pieces of furniture or valued objects from their home, you can tell like it's not people who are traveling per se, it's people who are fleeing something. So that seems to be what is choking up the road for the early part. And when I say road, I'm being very generous in the description. Remember that it is very sturdy, but it's really designed to carry a certain gauge of cart loading down with silver ore back and forth along here. It's not really designed to accommodate a big chunk of travelers that are going along. Katerina, would you kindly give us a is it heal or is it medicine? I guess I got the GM screen here. I can take a look.
It's heal as a advanced skill.
Yeah. Katerina, would you give us a heal check at average, please? Carl, you're frozen on my screen too. I'm not sure. Oh no, you're not. You're just not. You're very still.
Mm-hmm. What am I making?
You're making a heal check at average, please.
Okay. Nice.
So as you guys are getting underway because you had the opportunity to have a nice breakfast and to grab, the stuff. How is everyone's encumbrance looking, by the way? Is no one's getting close to being overloaded?
I don't think so.
If not, I'm not. Then I won't be concerned about who's carrying the courier stuff. I think Frederick is the only one.
I have 2 out of 8. I think.
Yeah.
I just have
You're also a quite sturdy lass. So.
Yeah.
Wait, why aren't you on here? Too. I just realized that your token is in here. Give me a sec. I'll collect it, Katarina. So maybe Katarina has the courier's pack slung across her back. But what you notice...
Seemingly I'm encumbered.
Is that because of your... the new armor you've put on? Are you carrying...
I'm not sure. It says current encumbrance 13.
Yeah.
Max encumbrance 10.
Have you...
Just trying to look where it's coming from.
Any duplicates for your armor? Because I know you took some of the armor from the...
They're not both ticked, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just says... So under armor, it just says mail coat and open helm. Open helm is ticked.
Okay.
Mail coat.
Yeah,
ticked.
that's worn. That's worn.
That's all right, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it might be because you do have a fair amount of stuff. Like you got a crossbow and a hand weapon and a longbow. But just what's the weight of that crossbow?
Yeah, I'm just looking. Where does it tell you where the weight is?
I think it's under the. If you hit the cog.
Oh yeah.
Encumbrance 2.
Oh, that's pretty chunky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got loads of space if you want me to carry something.
Yeah, I got stuff. I got space too.
I just snagged that crossbow to see if we could trade it or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can carry it if you want me to carry it.
So that'll bring you down to 11. You're still carrying.
Seems a lot.
Yeah, what else do you have for your trappings?
What else do you have? Yeah. I actually have ranks in bow. Crossbow's separate, I believe, right?
I think so.
Strap, cloak, clothing, bag, boots. I don't know if I've got a rank of stuff.
How heavy is that animal trap? Encumbrance 1. So that is actually listed on your character sheet. So your animal trap is 1.
Yeah.
So if you get even that and the crossbow handed over to Alwyn, that'll put you at 10. So you're back under or at your encumbrance limit.
Yeah. All right then.
Okay. So then, you're still wearing your armor, and Alwyn, you're chatting. What you rolled was 1. Oh no, you failed, didn't you? You didn't re-roll.
All those mutants had crossbows, right?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They were broken ones, so they have the whatever is the shitty condition. So, what you find is, Katarina, what you were rolling for is as you guys are getting set up, Alwyn, you're realizing at some point in this journey you're going to be moving yourself a little further forward, I imagine, because this group is sort of choking the road and moving much slower than what you guys will be. But Katarina, what you notice is that there are some discolored sores on some of the refugees, on their faces, on their hands, and there's some coughing that is going on. It does seem like there may be some, not surprisingly maybe, but there seems to be some illness that is among their group. So, if you guys wish to push through them, you certainly can do that. if you're doing so on the road, basically it's a long way of saying that it's going to be a little bit of a delay in here, unless you're pushing through the crowd to get there, or you're going to try and off land it and cut through the
I don't know. Oh, when you're not in super great shape, so maybe we just wait for them to pass. It looks like they're a bit sick, and I don't know if we want to take the time to.
Well, do we think it'll stop us getting to the town by the end of the day, or?
It shouldn't. They're still. It seems as if they're still intent on reaching Olden Leats, but this may also be why the rest of you guys did not find anyone willing to chat, because it's just this pathetic group. And when Frederick, you may have said at some point, like, oh, well, I'll go have a chat with these folks. Nothing to, good conversation brightens even the darkest of circumstances. And that's maybe when Katerina noticed that, like, wait.
Wait a second, yeah.
Yeah. And we just had the death of that old boy. It was like fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should let them pass, let them get out of the way.
Yeah, I think we'll hang back then, shall we?
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what that affords is, for one, Alwyn, you're going to have a really great viewpoint for anything. This is perhaps why you're not surprised, because you're going to have, for one, these refugees are kind of the canary in the coal mine, as it were. Someone's going to set upon somebody, this will be the point. There is one point where in the journey, a little after midday, where, Alwyn, you do hear a horn from somewhere off in the foothills, but it seems to echo for a very, very far distance, and it does not seem to come to anything. You are keeping a far enough distance so you can't really hear what's being said by the group, but they definitely seem agitated by it. But once you get closer to Olden Leats and the foothills flatten out a bit, you guys are able to take a more of a route around them, and then finally make up for some lost time. So you will be arriving at Olden Leats at the end of your travel day. Still going to need several hours of daylight once you reach there.
That's good.
Yeah. And let me tell you about Olden Leats. There it is. So again, Olden Leats is on an island in the... wrong. Here we go. An island in Lake Damonlaub. So it's kind of at the another one that's sort of located just on the edge of a lake like Salzenwood itself. And the silver trade dominates this place. The water itself is fringed by spruce trees around the lakeshore, and there's a causeway that stretches from the lakeshore to a gatehouse that's wide enough for 2 wagons to pass. The island restricts the town from spreading, so the streets are narrow, and the buildings are taller than a typical empire community of this size. Such a location is eminently defensible, and the Olden Leats Guard have a proud history of repelling attacks from goblins and beastmen. You also find, as you were going in, there are 2 things that stand out to you, Alwyn. One is there's an awful lot of halflings that are making their way in here. And they seem not just to be living here, but you pass at least 1 cart full of turnips that seems to have come from the same direction that you guys are heading. So it does seem as if there are folks. Who has training in the Nordland? I think it was you, Frederick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there are. So you would know, just north of here, there are several halfling communities that are famous for their turnips. they grow some lovely turnips that are widely relished elsewhere in Nordland. And would you give us an easy roll on your lore Nordland, please?
Hey.
The other non-human species that is relatively common in Olden Leets, and they're not uncommon in Nordland in general, but particularly here, are wood elves. And with a roll that good, you will know why. Because it's said that the extensive corridors and chambers, most of which, the vast majority of which, are flooded, that are underneath Olden Leets, are actually remnants of elven ruins.
Oh.
So they, a lot of the wood elves will come here to find and visit the some ancient elven ruins. That's something that's not necessarily widely known. Humans here don't give a shit. Like, why on earth would you go down to the sewers in any old world city? Like, you are just asking for, at best, exposure to some pretty horrific diseases. At worst, giant rats, underwater monsters, Skaven. But of course, Skaven don't exist. But yeah, that's what you would be aware of, Frederick, is that there is also a fair amount of wood elves, and it's because this place is built on the ruins of a long abandoned elven settlement.
Yeah.
So, as you guys are heading in, do you have any plans for what you'd like to do in Olden Leets, or is it just a matter of finding an inn, getting a good night's rest, and then securing a barge to transport you to Salzinland tomorrow?
I need to try and get hold of some arrows from somewhere.
Are you out?
No, I'm not out, but I don't like to run short. Let me just check. I've been keeping it.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do any of this stuff because I have like 1 shilling to my name.
Yeah, money is a bit of an issue in it. I've got 1 shilling and 16 brass.
Is that after because you guys were given a stipend, right? Before.
No, that's the 1 shilling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 1 shilling.
Okay.
We was living off of Aaron up now, I think.
So
might be able to get a sort of common room.
Right. It's gonna have to be common room. Oh, we can sleep outside, right, Alvin?
you'd have to
We're
sleep
used to that.
on the lake shore. Because there's not really, because of how cramped the city is, there's not really, any alleys would likely be spoken for by beggars.
Mm-hmm.
But
unless the Schusters have lots of money to spare and share.
I've got the same shilling that you fellas have got.
Yeah, we got
I have
nothing.
6 arrows. Currently, I have 6 arrows, so I've lost 4, unless I was able to retrieve the one from the dwarf, but I didn't like to ask.
Lakeshore sounds nice. I can pick up some rocks for my sling too.
so you guys did not roll any, what do you call it? You didn't have a camp endeavor, so making camp is going to be a bit of a chore then. Does anyone have a tent?
Not yet.
Nope.
That's next career level.
You gotta love Warhammer. D&D at first level, your aspiration is like, I hope after Adventure 2 I'm going to get myself some plate armor. Warhammer's like, I hope I can get shoes that don't have holes in them. Fortunately, the weather is quite good.
Yeah.
Anyone have a bedroll even?
I've got a bedroll.
Okay.
I live in luxury.
Yeah.
I have a cloak.
Okay. So let's see here. Let's see if there is. There isn't in the travel rules. I wonder, is there something in the survival skill. Let's see.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got my outdoor survival skill.
I can try and acquire something from in town if you'd like me to try.
Like acquire? Or
Yeah, like borrow.
got it.
Borrow from the general store. Something if.
Yeah, outdoor survival is
Yes.
basic skill. So
And it's only it is a not routine. What is it called? What's the first level of difficulty? There's easy, which is plus average plus 20. It's an average test in this weather to be able to set up, and then each success level you're able to provide for one more character. If you fail, then the characters just have to make an endurance test, or they can get fatigued from sleeping outside.
Can we assist on this one? The outdoor survival.
Are
does
you
everyone roll
trained
it,
in
or-
it? What's a basic skill?
It's a basic, yeah. So
I don't think so. No,
no.
I don't think it's one of those. Let me just take a look here.
So
Only
is
because
it do we all have to roll in individually?
no. You can pick one person, and that person can make the roll for you. Hold up here. Get myself
Who's the
all turned
smartest?
around.
Mine's 34. My outdoor survival.
yeah, PC by 1.
I got 44.
Oh, Frederick is rolling.
Okay, and you know what? With if you've got that good of a roll, why don't we say we'll bump it up to very easy, so it'll be plus 60 to whoever's making the roll.
Frederick.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Between the lot, it's great weather. There's just signs. There's just a matter of finding place along the lake shore. Are you giving any thought to the fact that the refugees are likely to be making camp along the shore as well? Do you want to try and find a place all on your own?
Yeah, if they're. I mean, what do they have? I mean,
As far as illness, you didn't.
Yeah.
You haven't approached them and conducted any diagnosis. As
Yeah.
far as I can tell, we certainly can go back and do that if you'd like.
oh yeah, I'd made a heal. Had made me make a heal check. I don't know if that.
Yeah, so you know that they're sick, just you haven't.
Oh yeah.
Gone in
I'll
closer.
try to avoid them unless. I mean, if we have to, we'll. Because we have people who are injured, so
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to draw attention as well potentially.
that's fine. But maybe people will.
Well, that's better than them than us. Is what
Right.
Alan's
Okay.
thinking.
We'll distance ourselves as much.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have to interact with them, we will. But I would rather, especially since there's injured among us, you don't want any of that contagion to get into those open wounds.
Yeah. So the arrows are a common thing, which means you don't need to roll for availability. You will be able to purchase arrows in town,
Okay.
and the arrows are 5 shillings.
Well, I won't be buying any of those in. Is that for they're not 5
Here,
shillings each.
I think in retrospect, guys, you probably got a gold crown for your travel expenses. That makes more sense than 1 shilling.
Oh, okay.
So a gold crown is 20 shillings.
All right.
Yeah.
How many arrows would you get for your 5 shillings?
12. You'll get 12 then.
Oh, okay. I'll get them. When I'm in
Get
town.
them, okay.
Well, we could stand in unless we want to camp on the shore then
Yeah.
with the gold crown.
Yeah, I mean, it give me a chance to rest better, maybe, to get some more.
Anyone have evaluate or haggle?
I have evaluate. Have I got haggle?
Haggle's a basic skill. I'm pretty
Yeah,
good.
I have a pretty good. I have fellowship at 40, so
Yeah, I've got haggle 42.
evaluate is I think advanced.
Yeah, it's advanced. I've got it, but I'm not as good as that.
So winning a haggle test reduces the price by 10% or possibly 20% with an astounding success.
You can haggle for those arrows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna do that. Okay. So then, who would like to do the haggling for these arrows? That's the first thing, I guess, that you're purchasing in town. You can picture you after you've arrived. There's halfling in the street. There's a bunch of people who are in here. These. It feels, I think, in comparison to the relatively openness of Salzenmund, this is very cramped as well. There's also the smell of the. It's not like a place on the coast where it's got that stink of the waterfront, but I mean, being by a lake is going to have a smell all its own anyway.
Yeah.
So this is what I'll do then, based on the excitement from my newfound discovery or remembering of the subterranean secrets of this area.
Yep.
As we're talking arrows at the Fletchers or the trader who is ever dealing in, I'll bring up this chat just to sort of make myself more of an entertaining character in this haggling attempt. I'll just chat about these. I bet these will be some fine arrows. What with the the interest of the wood elves around here, you can't be selling any subpar stuff.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah,
I'm taking the buttering him up approach to haggling.
So normally a contested roll is against challenging. Why don't you make it at easy? It's I think a smart approach. So I got 1 degree of success.
Oh,
astounding! That means it is. So I would reduce that to 5, but still, that's an astounding success. That means that you get 20% off of your thing. So that'll cost you 4 shillings instead.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, what a nice fellow.
He's very pleased and happy to. You clearly know your merchandise. He brings you to the more. You're not paying extra for it. You're just paying less for this stuff. So he's like, all right, fine, 4 shillings. Anyone else need to purchase anything or sell anything here? Selling stuff, you typically get, I think it's 10%.
See if we can shift that crossbow.
Yeah, I did consider that, but it might be useful to have a ranged weapon.
Yeah, quarters.
Until I can get a bow.
That's up to you.
So the crossbow itself, typically, this is a shitty one, but crossbows are actually worth 5 crowns new.
Oof. Wow. How much do you think I'd get for it? Is it 10%, did you say?
So it's well, let me just quickly get, I'm gonna find the broken. It's interesting only because you can actually increase your chances of success by just taking less money for it, which is, I think, a neat mechanic. I'm just gonna find the conditions. Where is it?
Weapon qualities.
Yeah, not the qualities.
That's 297. So I think it was just before that.
Oh, is it? Okay, hold up.
It's around
damage.
290, I think, something like that.
Yes, qualities are on 292, and this was shoddy. Oh, it doesn't say what the change in cost is. Even when I apply the last sentence rule for Cubicle 7 products.
Oh, wow.
All right, but here's what you can do. So typically your base cost is half, and then where is it here? If they succeed, then they are only able to accept half of a quarter of the value. If you succeed, you get to sell it at half, and if you have a career like fence or merchant and you put time into gossip tests wandering the town, you might find someone willing to pay 80% of the listed value. And then the availability of a buyer increases by 1 step if you're willing to take half of the money. So the more of a... Oh, and that's where the availability comes in, is finding a seller. So let's see if crossbow has a... It's a common thing, so you get no difficulty finding someone to buy it. So what are you thinking? I guess first off, do you wish to sell your crossbow?
Well, I've had a look at shoddy, and it's more likely to break. So if we can get rid of it, it might help us to keep us in a room overnight. It might be more worth.
And Frederick, you were carrying that crossbow as well. What is it? Did you each grab a crossbow?
No, I offloaded my crossbow. Alwyn offered to carry it for me.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Encumbered.
So then, would you like to try and sell then?
Yeah, I think so. But what was it? Was it a haggle again, or?
It will be haggle tests again. You're starting at... Well, if you succeed, you get half the value, so it'll be 2 crowns and 10 shillings. If you fail, then you'll get a quarter of the cost, whatever that'll be.
That's
25
right.
shillings, I guess.
Yeah. I'll make that test then.
Okay, so then go ahead and give us just a challenging haggle test. I succeeded by 2.
Ooh. I'm gonna.
So unless you want to fortune point that, it'll be quarter.
I want a fortune point now.
Okay. 45 is pretty good for an untrained skill. That's great. I'm keeping out for those critical failures.
No, starting to annoy the guy, obviously. No, yeah, go on then. Oh, you'd have to shirt off my back.
Your confidence of finding a discount on those arrows is just woefully overinflated your sense of your trader's acumen.
Yes. I suddenly thought I was some kind of merchant for a while there, and then sadly not.
You walk into the market stall, it's like, all right, boys, who wants to make a deal? And everyone else just saw Rube written across your head.
Yeah.
So what that means is you will get a quarter of the price, which will be 25 shillings.
That's still pretty good.
Still pretty good, yeah. Especially for the shitty condition that it was in. So knowing now that you guys have that money available, I guess first off, is there anything else you wish to purchase? This place is a bit of a trader's hub, so the chances of finding more unusual products is probably going to be, or at least more hard to find products, might be higher. Particularly anything of the martial variety, given the location. There'll be lots of...
I could use a staff, but I don't know how much they are. But it's better to maybe just save it for...
What kind of staff? Like a magical staff, you mean?
No, just like a regular staff.
Oh,
I have a club.
Oh, yeah, that'll be easy to find. I think those are common as well.
Yeah, but they're...
Like a quarter staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, quarters have pole arms. Common, and it's 3 shillings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone could... I could buy it myself.
No, I didn't... 3 shillings flush now.
Yeah. You want to haggle?
Nah.
Okay. This is what this whole game is now, guys. I hope you appreciate. Nothing
haggling the role-playing game. I don't know what I like that aspect of it.
No, me too. No, I love it. It's we in our traveler game, like they say like, oh, you can if the group doesn't like it, you can just do all the trading off screen and then just do the between sessions. It's fun seeing it in play in some cases. I really like the decision making part of that.
I'll haggle with the guy for that free car. You don't want to throw your money away. No, we'll give you a better deal, Katerina. I know her, man. Look.
I don't want to pay more for a piece of wood than...
So I failed.
Okay.
So I failed pretty substantially.
Leaves the way clear. So let's.
Here it comes. Your time to shine. I didn't critically fail though, so that door is still open for you.
Okay. So
No pressure.
Hey, 2 degrees.
So, Katerina, you're weighing this thing over, and like it's got good weight to it. It's got good. It seems to have well made. For the next time you run into ne'er-do-wells, this would probably serve as a capable weapon. What you notice, though, Frederick, is this person seems particularly impressed with Katerina, whether it's her, the fancy talk that she learned from being educated as a wealthy, a child of a wealthy family, or whether it's as part of the Church of Shalia. There's definitely a little bit of an angle to be worked here. That Katerina seems to be oblivious to right now. So what is it you say that convinces him?
I nudged the guy. I says, you know who that is? That's Katerina. She's a priestess of Shalia. I'll tell you what, you want to do? Tell you what, do us a good deal on this, and she won't forget it. I mean, look, see this scar? She healed this up for me, good as new. Look at that, good as new. Tell her, she's one to watch, and help her out now. She won't forget it. I tell you, she won't forget it.
He seems pretty impressed by that, and when you're asking about the purchase price, it's 3 shillings typically, but he'll take so 3 shillings is 36 pennies, and he will take. I think here you didn't get a. Oh, I rolled the difference between. This is one thing that's neat about the game is the comparative things. I failed by 4, which means your success plus 4 is actually an astounding success.
Oh, right.
So it's 20% off, which means it'll be 6 less. So it's 30 pennies, which works out to. This is where it gets a little tricky. So that'll be 2 shillings and 6 pennies for you, Katerina.
Okay. Maybe it's better to convert that gold to, okay.
Yeah, it's 20 shillings per gold crown, and then it's 12 pennies per shilling.
All right, so I guess I give him 3 shillings, and then he gives me change.
Yeah.
He gives me how much change?
6 pennies.
6 pennies, okay. All right.
I can't remember. I worked when the first time I went to the UK. I worked in a pub very briefly, and I was completely unaware of how your money worked. And then I was trying to give you change, and they're like, "Okay," and then he quickly rattles it through, and I'm like, "What? It's not divisible by 10? What the fuck?" So it was an ordeal. I did not last long at that job. Every time someone orders a pint, me being paralyzed by mathematics did not make for a very good bartender. So you saved some money on that. Alwyn, do you have any purchases you wish to make?
Not at this stage. No. I'm gonna keep my money for emergencies.
So then, knowing you have the money available, do you wish to get a stay at an inn here, or do you wish to sleep outside? If you stay in an inn, it means that there may be some pub games that you may be able to engage in.
Yeah, I vote for the inn.
It's also probably a reason to stay away, but...
Yeah, well, I want to vote for the inn just to try and heal up a few more of those wounds.
Yeah.
A decent night's sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know what the cost is.
I can tell you here. Yeah, I should open. I've got. I grabbed both copies of the rule book, so I should just leave one open to the cost rather than continually flipping through. But
just see what their common room is. See what their common room price is. I reckon.
Yeah.
We don't need the ambassador's suite, do we?
No.
So you're holding you're holding on to that 25 shillings, or is that like party fund?
Well, I've just written it 25 shillings.
So the common room will be 10 pennies.
Down.
Uh-huh. 10 pennies for a common room.
Yeah, private room is 10 shillings.
10 pennies it is.
Well, we could get it. We could get a private room, and have with that 25.
I suppose if we shared one.
Yeah, if we share a private room, that's fine.
So private room costs. Private room accommodates 2 guests. Large rooms cost double the price and accommodate 4 guests. So you could get a larger room for 20, but you can also haggle for that if you choose.
But we can't squeeze into a regular room.
They
Sleeps on the floor, I guess.
won't. They charge per head basically for the sense of things. So you can definitely try and fit in there, but that would be sort of reflected by the haggling. If you're successful, then you could drive the cost down to say 15 shillings, or depending on how well you do.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Common room, or we go for a private room?
I reckon we should just go for a common room.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So then that is 10 pennies each.
And it's 12, right? Pennies per.
12 pennies per shilling, yeah. And 20 shillings per crown.
Got it.
All right. Then, why don't you give us an easy endurance check for each of you, please?
Even if you're not injured.
Even if you're not injured, yeah. Just the common room is, yeah, no problem. I mean, you guys should be, with plus 40, you guys should be good.
We'll get about
Goodness.
1,068 back.
Okay.
Awesome.
Took them a while to fix it, but it got fixed, and now it's
Yeah.
fine.
That's good.
Oh, impressive success.
Okay. So then, yeah, that's fantastic. So you guys, I think, Katerina, you actually help out one or two others who are in there.
Okay.
They seem to be suffering from something, and you help them with that. And then, with the morning coming,
Do they get to get some hit points back?
yeah, so we're going to roll for, let's see here.
Are we going to do
So
pub games?
it is an average endurance check after a good night's sleep. So everyone can roll a average endurance test if you've got any wounds still. I think it's only Freddy and Alwyn.
Roll it again.
Okay.
Average. Oh.
Okay. So what's your toughness bonus?
I think it's 4. Let me check. 4, yeah.
So you still heal 1 back,
okay.
and then Frederick, what's your toughness bonus?
My toughness bonus is 4.
4. So then that is 6 that you'll recover. So you'll be back to 4.
Alwyn doesn't have an infection, does he?
I
I thought you sorted it out.
I think he
yeah,
had
I
it,
think
but
I
you
did get one, and then you healed it or blessed it. Or...
Treated it or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, Al's just taking a little longer to. Frederick is back to full health once again. Al, you just maybe it's the lingering part of that infection that you had. Katerina is assuring you like you've got no fever, there's no discoloration, there's no swelling or whatnot. It's just can't shake
I mean
this.
that first night I got such a good boost. I think it's now it's just slow recovery now.
Yeah.
So he's okay with that.
Okay. Anything else you wish to do in Odenleitz?
I think we're just looking for the boat now, probably.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, passage on a boat is. Well, you know what? Why don't we take our mid-session break now, and then we'll come back and.
Well, it's already mid-session. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Time's flying. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll come back and see what happens for your negotiating your trip. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Frederick's the haggler.
Did you guys want to divide up the treasure? The gold crowns?
We have gold crowns. I thought we just had.
Well, no, what was it? Shillings. Sorry, shillings.
No, I mean, I think we just keep. I would say the treasure from the crossbow. Just hold on. Just hold on to it, and we'll keep it in the party. We'll use that as a party.
Have we got somewhere where we're recording that then?
Well, it's quite hard because you get different people each time, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe Kevin can give us a. Well, I know we can split it. You can split it.
Colin, you need to mute yourself in Roll20 once again.
I was unmuted. When I muted myself, it went wrong.
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe it's displaying wrong just because we had some feedback there. Sorry, what were you guys asking?
Are you still getting feedback now, Kev, or is it all right?
No, now it's sorted.
Oh, good.
Okay. Sorry, what were you guys asking? I came back.
We were just talking about splitting up the money from the crossbow.
Yeah. Do you guys, does everyone get a share, or does it only go to whoever lugged it?
Oh, no. I was just thinking between us three here, so there'd be 8.
And you can keep the extra shilling on it.
I think you got, what, 30 pennies from selling the crossbow? No, that was what the cost was. So from selling the crossbow, you got...
25 shillings.
25 shillings. Okay, so there you go. So like 8 to 3 of you, and then 1 excess, or you could split that one up and get 4 pennies each.
Yeah, we might as well do that.
I'm really ready for my pub job now, guys. I tell you.
I know, I tell you. So we get 8 and 4. Okay, 8 and 4.
I also neglected, I kind of rushed past whether you guys wish to engage in any pub games.
Right.
But there's a chance to win some money.
Chance to earn a little bit extra money. There's going to be arm wrestling for sure, because that is always a popular activity. There will definitely be card games in there. And let's... and darts.
Oh, darts.
Oh, darts?
Darts is a challenging ranged throw test. If successful, you score your units in your tens dice, or your units tens dice times 10, you choose. The goal is to just score a total of 501 points exactly. If you score more, your turn is over, and the points scored by your last dart is ignored.
I've not got range thrown.
So is wrestling? Well, wrestling.
Arm
I
wrestling?
guess she'll try her hand at arm wrestling. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if it's strength or we'll find out. If
It's an
or brawling.
opposed challenging strength.
Okay.
And what you're trying to get to, first one is, first character to reach 10 plus success level is the winner.
Okay.
For every toughness bonus in rounds that pass without a winner, you gain +1 fatigue, which you can remove after 5 minutes of rest. So what's your toughness bonus, Katarina?
Hers is 3.
It's 3, okay. So then, the person who's doing the arm wrestling is likely a bigger lad.
Yep. Yeah,
So
she's got a 45 strength, and it's not bad.
nothing to sneeze at, no. Let's see here. So, I can use a template. Justifying a purchase already.
An orc?
Yeah, it's not going to be an orc you're going to be wrestling, but it's...
But what is this? What is this, D&D?
Let's see here. Although, the age of, Soulbound. Soulbound has great rules for playing
Oh, I know. I gotta get that book. book. That's Destruction, right?
It's really sold. Yeah, because Graham
I have
and
a pretty good collection.
Colin
That's the one
and
book I don't have. I keep forgetting to pick it up.
Darren and I have played it.
There's also something more interesting or exciting I need to get at Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I got the Tales of the Red.
Nice. There is that Ulfenkarn source book that is coming out. It's out in PDF right now, but it looks really fucking good. I really enjoyed running that the 3-parter that we played.
That's good fun. I like that.
Mm.
Yeah, we tried Soulbound, but I think my players are kind of bounced off it because we did it during COVID and it was on Roll20, and so my players just don't like Roll20.
It takes a bit to get used to the options. Like by the last session, these guys were making really fucking smart tactical calls that played in with the mechanics, like not just.
Yeah, it wasn't the mechanics because I mean, like I think actually all the players could fly, which is kind of funny, but except for one, all the players could.
No, because they're like the engineer rig and.
Yeah, and then one was one of those Space Marines.
The Sigmarines. Yeah. So. Okay, so +5 strength. Excellent. Let's see here. That means our starting human, and we'll add the template on to get the number. Now, I'm not going to do this every time. I'm just really pleased with this option now. All right, so there.
So that templates have
Yeah, like what they do is they give you a bunch of stat thing. It's just like it's honestly, it's like what you saw in the original first edition core book, where it would have like the advancement templates underneath, and similar to what they did in second edition for some of the things. It's just a little thing that they use to modify the skills, modify the stats to get the skills, and then it tells you what talents and what trappings they likely have. I absolutely love it. It's exactly what I wanted from.
So it's not just for greenskins; it's for.
Well, like they say, it's published for greenskins, but like there's nothing about them that would prevent you from using it, even if you're just using it as a starting point for it. And like even for just the orcs alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 different templates just for the greenskins, and there are more for each of the other ones as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's good. I might have to. I might just get that because the dwarf in my Warhammer campaign is bragging how he's going to one-shot a rat ogre that they've come across that we haven't played that out yet.
Oh yeah, like if you slap the elite one on that, and then there are some great rules for customizing.
I might just do something really like I might have like there's a Skaven with a warp pistol. Yeah, and I might just have him shoot the dwarf and have the warp stone start corrupting his Bromwell armor. Well,
here's an option for you. The Chaos Troll template, which could easily be applied to a Rat Ogre. It has the Corrupting Vomit ability that it corrodes not just the body but the soul. Those hit exposure to corruption.
Oh, that's a great idea, because then if he hits it, then its blood explodes. It explodes. And
that feels very old world. It's like hit the big thing and in response it just pukes.
I mean, it does seem something like Clan Boulder would do.
Totally.
They create we're just gonna mess with this. We're gonna have to use Warpstone into this rat ogre. Yeah, totally.
That's awesome. And then you could stack them as well. So like if you want to have an elite warrior or an elite soldier or whatnot, you can do that. So yeah, it's great stuff. All right, so anyway, we'll let's roll your thing. So I have a 40, so he's actually weaker than you, Katarina.
I know, but okay.
And his toughness is a 3. What's your toughness bonus?
3 also.
Okay, so after 3 rounds, that's when we do the fatigue. So go and give us a challenging strength roll. So you settle. What does Katarina do? I mean, she's still wearing her robes and whatnot, I imagine, in the pub. How does she?
I mean, that's all she has. She doesn't have any like pub clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes. I had a lot of brother. Well, did she? She last to.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of brothers in arms. She says, because she didn't have any brothers, but you guys, Frederick and Owen, and we all tussle and wrestle and swim. I want to test my strength, but I'm just a girl, you know.
And they kind of laugh. All right, sit down, little lady.
Yeah, I wonder if I have. These talents don't give me SLs.
There's things like brawny or something like that might affect them.
They just gave me stat increases in my talents.
Oh, okay.
So we got to put some money on this then.
Yeah, let's talk about the betting on this.
I feel not going to have a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but we should get good odds on a girl in the.
I mean, she's quite big. You can't hide how sturdy she is.
I'm wearing robes, so you can't totally tell.
Let's see here.
She's tall and athletic. She's not like overweight or anything.
You haven't got strong back, have you? Talent. That one's good for strength.
Ready? Are you ready? Are they gonna bet?
Yeah, I'm getting the betting. I'm just trying to remember how much. Because there's a cap on how much you can bet per thing, depending on the game. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find where that is. Here we go. So I think they hit it in the... Here we go. 2 shillings is the cap, or 2 shillings is the bet.
Okay.
per thing. So anyone want to bet on the outcome here?
Yeah, I'll bet on myself.
Okay.
2 shillings.
2 shillings. Alwyn?
If they're both betting, what is there? What's the return on this?
100%.
And is that for both parties?
Yeah, it's even. Yeah, it's even.
Go either way.
Yeah.
I'll bet on the other guy then.
Okay, so 2 shillings on.
At least we get some money back if we lose.
Okay, so then Katerina, would you give us a strength check? I failed by 3.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so then they've got 1 towards the 10 they need.
Yep.
And hold on, I'll count this up on my oversized D10 that I never get to use. All right.
That's true. Oh, I can use a fate point though.
Oh yeah, do you want to a fortune and reroll?
Yeah, I'd like to fortune and reroll that.
Go ahead. So I failed by 3. There you go. So that's 5 you got.
So maybe I let him go a little bit, and I go, I start pushing back.
He's like, he woefully misjudged that. So that's for the first round. You have 3 before you start worrying about fatigue. Second roll.
So I'm at +5 right now, right?
You're +5. Yeah, I got it.
Unless you use your. Doesn't the GM have like fate points?
They're by the characters. I don't have like doom points or whatnot. No. Though, this is an aside. I'm of a mixed mind of those right now, because like Doom, they have a similar mechanic called Ruin in
Wyhander?
No, in Wrath and Glory, and the thing I'm not crazy about it in the D20, the 2D20 games right now is because like they don't seem to have a lot of meaning for some of the spends of it, like like introducing more adversaries and whatnot. Like I'm going to do that if it services the adventure. I don't need to fucking have the game for it. But Ruin is specifically tied to like breaking the rules specifically for those adversaries or making use of specific attacks, similar to the way Advantage is used in this game.
Yeah, I think I only use it the threat or whatever you call it to give like an extra dice or 2 to the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
I kind of use it like a bad guy specific, but like I agree, like adding more foes or giving the foes better equipment, I just do that anyway.
Yeah, like
then it's not going to challenge the players.
It's an odd thing to have a clear and obvious mechanic that the players know, because they probably don't want to face more things, so it almost acts as a deterrent for them spending threat to get the stuff. So I don't know.
But I think if I just use it consistently use it like they use it to add more dice, they're cool with that.
Yeah, and that's that has been good. It definitely does. Having a big pool of Doom makes for a really good boss fight. It's just weird that it's contingent on that. Like if you don't have that spent, then it kind of makes for a subpar encounter, which is a long way saying I don't have it in this, but I do like the way that is implemented in Wrath and Glory.
Yeah, I think in Warhammer Fantasy, like only like named adversaries, and not all of them. Like a boss type person will have fate points or something.
This is a non sequitur, but this is something that's really clever that they've done in Wrath and Glory. So every monster or every adversary has its own its own stat block, but the type of monster you treat that as, whether it's a minion or an enemy or an elite or whatever, it depends on the power level of the players, because there's 4 different tiers of play in that game. There's 6. I think 6 different tiers of play. But what that allows you to do is use the same stat block, and you just use the different thing. Like they might be able to resist damage the way player characters do for low level things, but for higher level characters, they might take 1 hit and die. So it's That's a really clever little matrix of being like, this is also what kind of adversary it is depending on the tier of play you're in. It's
okay.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it until last night. I'm like, oh fuck, like because of the tier you guys are at, this is what how the rules work for it. If you're at a higher tier, then they're mobs, right?
Yeah.
So for a game that's supposed to capture everything from like Hive City gangers or Hive World gangers all the way up to like Astartes librarians, it's a great way of being able to model all that shit without having wholly different sets of stats. But in any event, all right, so then
Round 2.
Round 2. Here we go. He grits his teeth. Fucking failed again. I failed by 6 this time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
So that's 4 still. So you're
that's 4. Yeah.
He tries to redouble his efforts, but his elbow has slid into some spilled ale, and he's nearly down. Resisting the last. You are 1 away from slamming his hand down on the table, and you're not even fatigued yet. Final round. Here we go.
He can recover.
I succeeded by 1. But it's not enough. A little bit of a go back and wham down on the table. The crowd erupts. So Alwyn loses 2 shillings, but you guys pick up 4 between Frederick and Katerina.
Nice.
Is that 4 each? Or we double
2 each. 2 each. You're adding 2 new ones.
Okay.
So that is, everyone's like, oh, and really impressed with the way that went. Alwyn,
I make sure his arm's all right.
Oh yeah. Give
him a blessing and
sure, yeah. If you check his arm, it's his pride, which is going to take some a bit of pounding. But you got an impressive.
She got 2 shillings. I'll be generous. I'll buy him a round.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So he agrees to that.
I don't know how. I mean, it's probably not. It's probably a couple pennies, right? How much
for a pint? Yeah, it is. I can tell you.
We're rich now. Look at that.
I love it. Around on the house.
Not on the house.
Definitely, the gods are smiling on me today. The gods are smiling on me today.
They're fickle. Tomorrow, you never know.
A pint is 3 pennies.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy this guy a pint.
Okay. Nice. So it'll be like a quarter of a shilling.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, so yeah, you've definitely made a friend with that. Frederick and Alwyn, are there any pub games that you wish to engage in? There's still cards. There's
darts.
Yeah, I haven't got throwing as a skill. Is that?
Is it throwing or just ballistic skill?
Is it just your ballistic?
Someone asked about this, just because it's fresh in my mind. So Chris asked about how's it compared to Zweihander. It's a very different game, to be honest. I find I really love Zweihander and Blackbirds and Flames of Freedom as well. This game has more complexity. It has more a longer field for advancement. There is more things to spend your XP on, and. Like whether you are playing and I mean this also has everything for the old world specifically written for it. So, I think both are excellent games. Zweihander has less complexity to it, faster playing combat system than what this does, but both are excellent. It just depends on what you want from your table. Sorry. Darren, you were going to say it's fresh in my mind because I've been thinking about it lately. Of like, I still want to run Zweihander at some point this year as well, and I love both games. They just have very different kind of very different play experiences and very different lengths of advancement. I think this has a lot longer runway ahead of it than what Zweihander does, because you can't parse out like smaller XP bonuses. You get advancements, which then move you inevitably towards your third career, right? So, but anyway, Darren, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I was just trying to understand which skill it was for the darts, because I've got bow ranged, I've got
throw.
Ballistic, but I haven't got throw.
So it would just be your ballistic skill then, I think, because I think all the attack skills are what do you call it? Are
they're all advanced, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've only got bow specifically. I'll give it a go though.
Okay.
It seems flush with money, so.
So then here's
flush,
here's the way that so dart betting. I think it'll be 1 shilling per game. No, it'll be 2. Probably the same thing. So 2 shillings per game.
Yeah, I'll invest 2 shillings.
And you toss a coin to see who goes first. So why don't you? Do you want to go evens or odds, Alwyn?
I'll go evens.
Evens. You're up first.
Okay.
So then here's what it does: you make your check. If you succeed, it's a challenging one. You get to throw 3 darts. If you succeed, you tick the units dice, and you can either take it as, or so the tens digit, take it as that, or multiply it by 10, and you're trying to reach 501 exactly.
Okay. Well, let's see if I pass first, I guess.
And if you fail, it's only your units dice in points.
Okay.
Not the tens digit.
Is it average or challenging?
Challenging.
Challenging. Okay.
And you have 3 darts. I'll keep track here.
Well, that is a horrible mistake.
Oh, the first one is 7 points.
Okay. Second one.
You could fortune point that as well if you like. Second one is 1 or 10 points. Which would you like?
Yeah, I'll go for 10.
10, that's 17 points so far. And then...
Yeah, he's not the best dartsman.
Critical success. Critical, you score any result from 1 to 100 points.
Oh, well, I'll go for 100, obviously.
So 117... Whoa!
Oh, so you got the bullseye there, huh?
Yeah.
117. I like it.
There you go. So Alwyn's got 117 points. Your opponent squares up. You know what? Fuck it. I'll roll it in chat because that's probably more interesting than you guys watching the top of my head for 3 rolls.
You need to get a top-down camera. No, we don't care.
We
don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you could have... I'd worry about you seeing my notes, but my assistant reminded me this week that my handwriting is absolutely fucking illegible. Because I made notes on something and I took a photo of it so we'd have it on the file. And she's like, what the fuck is this? This is not Arabic, what do you call it, letters.
Yes,
all right, so he has a 35, so that is 20 for the first. That is, that's a 0. So it'll be, I guess, 0? What happens if you roll an 8?
I don't know.
Let's see here.
It's got to be
100.
good, surely. It's got to be good, isn't it?
That's like to be 120 already.
Yeah, if you think, hold on, it's not a crit though, so...
Nah.
Oh, units or tens dice. So you can actually pick which one.
So it could be
that'll
80.
be, yeah, 80. So that is 20, or 82? No, that's 100 already. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 already. And then... again, then 30. So that's 130.
Dang, that first throw.
Well, the last one could be 100 as well, couldn't it? Really? That's 3.
No, but it needs to be a crit.
Oh.
Right? Crits, remember, are doubles in fourth.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he get 100 for the 8?
The 8, no, 80, because again, it's not 80. A crit.
Oh, right.
It was 100 total, because I got 20 for the first toss, 80 for the second one, and then 30 for the third, so it's 130.
Yeah. Oh, so it's fairly close. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but hold on. Let's just make sure we didn't rob you. So that first one actually could have been your first success. There could have been 50 instead of 10, because you can use either one. So you could take the...
so should
be on 40 more. 150. 147 is what you're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you are up next. So Alwyn's at 147. The halfling's at 130.
Is he 140? So 50, 100. No, he's at 157.
No, it's 140 because the difference between what he, by taking the 50 instead of the 10, it's a 40-point difference.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Right? No, you're right. 147. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I can't add. A lawyer, not an accountant. There you go. 157.
All right.
Okay. That's another 40 points.
Yeah, 40. Nice. And then that is
9.
9.
So that's another 49.
And the last one is
70.
70.
119. Is that right?
Yep.
119.
So 157 plus 119, whatever.
276.
276. There we go. All right, and then the halfling squares up. Oh, it's the wrong one. Okay. First. Ooh, 1. 1
Or
point.
9. I guess you could take 9, right?
No, because if you fail, you have to take the units dice.
Oh,
and you can't multiply it by 10. So that is 1 point. Oh, critical fail. He misses the board altogether. Clearly he is drunk.
Was standing on. He's probably standing on a box for a bit of extra height. And
He wobbles. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe Aster kind of nudges the box a little bit.
And then fails again. So he got 10 points in this whole round. So that is 140.
Oh.
That is terrible. All right, Alvin, you're
Terrible.
up again.
Yeah. He won't laugh because he knows how bad this could go.
So that is 50.
50. Nice.
Yeah. That's the first one. Second one.
3.
3.
So 53.
And the last one.
Nice.
40.
40.
So that's 93 you're adding to your total.
Yeah, what was I on?
So what is that? 369? You're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's see if your counterpart can...
If you go over, do you lose or what? I don't understand.
it doesn't count. If you go over, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You want to get to exactly 501.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like darts. Yeah, you got to finish on that, don't you?
Okay. So it's 7 points. 5 points. There you go, and 50. So
62.
That is 62 he's adding, so he's got 202, isn't he?
What was he on?
202.
Okay. Alwyn.
Hey, there we go. Let's see if we can finish this.
Come on. 60.
60.
Fine.
Okay. 70. 130.
Right, hang on.
Oh, you're at 499, dude.
499. Oof. This is dodgy.
Remember, you can't take the tens, or if you succeed, you can take the tens digit or the units digit.
Yeah.
So here's your final one. 2
Ah!
points!
Exactly.
The pub erupts as you get the final one. So you earn that another two
awesome.
shillings from it. The halfling pats you in the back. That is a well-earned success. So nicely done, Alwyn.
You hit that 2 right there on the
tunk.
edge.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right. So
nice.
then, Frederick, that just leaves you. Is there any pub games you wish to engage in? Poker or darts or arm wrestling? I mean, not poker. It's whatever the Reichland equivalent is, but...
No. He's just happy to watch and see what everybody's up to.
Profit from it?
Yeah, listen to the stories. He's just soaking up all the ambience.
Yeah, why don't you give us a gossip check then? Let's make it easy, because you guys have clearly made some friends in here.
Yeah. We'll be, especially that guy who lost at the arm wrestle. We'll be chatting him up after Charlie Katrina made an impression on him.
Katarina. Charlie is her goddess.
Yeah, Katarina.
Impressive success. So what is it you're trying to direct the conversation towards in here? Is there anything specifically you're wanting to ask about Odenleitz, or about the situation here, or just gossip about the among the wood elves? And those are just examples, like whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's. I reckon he's after a secret recipe, because you mentioned the turnips earlier on. I'm thinking that in the Schuster house, there's sort of we had a peppered turnip dish that was always a family favourite. Mm-hmm. Knowing that these halflings are particularly proud of their turnip traditions. I'm going to see if I can maybe get some really good recipe that I could take back to Mum.
So just to tell you how or remind you maybe just how the gossip works, is each success level lets you find one useful bit of information, or you can spend a success level to spread a rumor to a number of individuals equal to your fellowship bonus. So if you want to spread word about something, you can also do that. I'm not saying you necessarily need to in this situation, but it's worth noting that you can also use it as an active thing, not just passively absorbing info. So in
that case,
mm-hmm. I mean, you have 4, so I will give you first off. Is it that you're looking for other recipes about this, or are you trying to what is it specifically about turnips that you're trying to find here?
I want to try and unearth a kind of, well, potentially what he sees as potentially lucrative and particularly, well, firstly, ideally win favour with his mum, because I feel like we left under. Well, last time we was at the Schuster household, I seem to remember breakfast getting messed up. We've had a guest. She's been looking after a guest, and I feel like he owes his mum a little bit of. He's got to make amends for a few things.
Okay.
So he needs that as a minimum.
So let's do this then. Why don't we say for one of your bits of information, you have the name of the finest turnip vendor in Odenleitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I want a really good traditional and quite sought after halfling recipe that uses said turnips.
Yeah, what I'll do is we'll cash 2 of them in for that, and you get a let's say it'll be a recipe for spiced turnip tarts. So a special kind of pureed thing. Think of like mashed potatoes in a pasty kind of thing. That's probably what it would be like.
Yeah.
And pasty. I got shit for that when I lived in Scotland. What would you like for your final one? You could spend that to try and secure something, or would you like to spread a rumor, or is there something else you want to learn about? The only reason I make you spend the 2 is because I think it's an unusual. You're trying to get a secret, right? So that's why it would have cost you 2 of your success levels.
Yeah, no, definitely. And last of all, I want to make it known. If anybody knows anything else about the Wood Elf Delvins, that I'm interested. I want to let people know that I'm interested to know more. I'm intrigued. I want to gather stories that I can take, and I want to take back to my kin. And I want to share these great tales of what's actually going on beneath this fine town.
Let me check one quick thing. I actually might have one here.
Because the way I see it, if I'm going to be any kind of storyteller, I need to have some material. You know, I need to have some good stories that not everybody heard.
So, what I was looking up is whether this, because I mentioned before we went live, I'm listening to the Gottlieb and Felix novels again, and one of the recurring kind of background characters is this playwright named Detlef Sierck. And I can't find anything about this, but so I don't know whether the character officially exists or whether, whatever, but which means we're free to use them. So what you know is that one of the more famed playwrights of this is apparently working on a historical epic. And he's interested in learning more about the... he's intending on setting it in a very unconventional... This will be scandalous in the Empire, because it intends to be a tale from the age of the elves, a mythic tale as far as the humans are concerned. And as such, he seems to have been going around having done some research on this. So if you do want to learn more about the ruins or the anything about that, he seems to have done a lot of research on this and is trying to find more. So that might be a good place to not only learn about what he knows, but also who he is trying to seek more information from.
All right, so I found out about this guy that I need to catch up with, really.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, excellent. And I have a turnip pasty, a halfling spiced turnip pasty recipe.
Yep.
Nice.
There's Detlef Cirque.
Detlef Cirque.
All right. Then, it sounds like you guys have had a very enjoyable evening. Let's have everyone give us a consume alcohol roll at easy. And just see if anyone over consumed or ran into any troubles.
Oh.
Katarina. I mean, you could spend a fortune point and re-roll that if you like.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Don't want to have something bad happen.
Okay,
you said easy?
At easy, yeah. The place you're staying is a bit watered down.
There you go.
No problem. All right. So, yeah, otherwise it is an enjoyable evening. The Katarina, would you give us a perception check, please, at average?
I do have 6th sense. If that, I don't know if that.
What does your talent do? Maybe click on the talent. Let's see what it does here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us. You know what? Make it an easy then. That's how I'll incorporate that.
All right. I'll just cancel and re-roll it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're, reaching the end of the day, you guys are heading into that big common area. Katarina, as you're reflecting on the day's events, the trip overland through the wooded foothills on the eastern edge of the Lorelorn Forest, you're thinking about your success in this thing. You wouldn't say that you were feeling pained. Like your load that you were carrying today was not onerous. It was not something more than what you could carry. Indeed, in comparison to Frederick, who's like teetering on the edge of slowing down, you're doing fine. But there is a weariness that has settled in on you that is just unusual. There is you sometimes, before Shalia began actually answering your prayers, where you just feel like you can feel her guiding you and perhaps her presence. A less devout person might refer to it as like a instinct or a feel or whatnot, but in your mind, maybe you see it as Shalia's hand directing you. But there's definitely a weariness that you can feel about you that is not typical. You've done nothing today that feels, why am I so worn down? And yeah, you're not sick. Like, you definitely are certain you haven't contracted anything. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels weary. I'm not sure there's anything to do about it. You're not going to take a tonic or anything like that before you go to bed. But there is...
I definitely will pray more fervently or ask Shalia for guidance.
Give us an average prey check then, please.
I do express this to see if the others are feeling likewise.
Yeah, so maybe I was just
did we eat
down.
Something bad? Was there some mold in the beer?
Yeah, and so neither of you feel anything.
Fine.
Not that I'm aware of.
Why don't Frederick and Alwyn give us a challenging perception check, please?
I'm gonna re-roll that.
The descriptors in this game always just an impressive failure. Delight me. Okay, so you're Alwyn. I mean, you're still. Oh no, and you succeeded. Nice.
I re-rolled it. Yeah.
Okay, so Alwyn, you're looking at Katerina, and it's only slight. Now, am I correct in thinking Katerina, because she lives in, I mean, she's not the kind of like, prissy noble to not get her hands dirty or whatnot, but she's not the kind of person who works outside all the time, right? Like she was inside either praying or dealing with the ill and whatnot. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely has gotten her hands dirty.
Okay.
Right.
So she's got, her base complexion, I think, then is probably quite pale. She's probably got a little bit of sun over the trip out here and the trip back, and she's got a little bit of that kind of traveled on the road kind of thing. But there's obviously a difference between someone who has a like porcelain-like pale complexion and someone who has that kind of sickly fish belly white my complexion, for instance. When you have someone who appears to be ill, complexion, and that's what's happened with Katerina. There's still the coloring on her, but there's just a little bit of a discoloration to her, a little bit of a sunkenness in the eyes. She's not sick, but that's what you can see, Alwyn. There's just something a little bit off here.
And when I look at Katerina, is there any similarity with that traveling guy? Did he have a similar look?
It's not one for one. That man was obviously a lot further along and had that very pale, very pasty, clammy look to him. Katerina does not have that. She actually seems pretty full of life in most part. But there's a hint of it.
But he was a traveler, so he wouldn't have been a pale-faced guy normally, would he?
Definitely not.
If they weren't ill, I meant.
No, he would have had that cowboy look, craggy, exposed to the elements all the time.
But,
yeah. For Texas, it would be anyone who's a rig worker. That's the same for Alberta as well. Folks who work outside all the time,
Yeah. I think I will, go over to Katerina with a bit of concern, because I know she's a big, strong, healthy.
Yeah, well, she asked whether you guys were feeling ill, and that's where you sort of notice, you're not, but, what is...
I feel fine, Katerina, but now you've asked, you do look a lighter shade, as if you're possibly coming down with something. I can only compare it to slightly similar to that travelling man we met at the coaching inn. In that very pale complexion.
What, the one who died?
Well,
that ain't very good, is it?
No, certainly not. I wonder if there's anything on those items that maybe there was some sort of, I don't know, disease or something. Maybe you should check over those items. Make sure there's... Can you cleanse them in some way? See,
you may recall, Katerina, you looked at him, you inspected his body, and he wasn't sick with anything. He's definitely dead. But the courier, when you looked at him, there was
could just old age and raggedness, I guess.
Yeah, road
weariness.
Absolutely. You know? So when he's saying that, like, you're certain that you're not suffering from any, you don't have any specific illness, but you feel it's like having the weariness that comes from, you know, a cold or something like that, but none of the other symptoms. You're not aching at any point. You don't have a fever. You're not feeling like you're short of breath. You're not coughing. But you do feel weary.
Well, like I did roll my prey to get some insight.
Yeah, so like, if you're just going to go to sleep, then that's perhaps where Shalia may visit you.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, are we going to make it to Salzamon by tonight, or is that still
tomorrow? You should, like, by the day of tomorrow, as long as you guys can get a boat or a barge down there, and there's tons of traffic that's going there. It's just a matter of hiring on.
Okay.
So
this is like in the morning.
No, this is before you're going to bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why you're not going to have to wait a full day. This is all, I backed us up. We know you're going to heal for it, but I wanted to back up to give you an opportunity to play
right.
pub games and to discover what's going on with you. So you're certain you're not sick, or at least if you are sick, it's not any illness that you are familiar with. Katerine, what do you say, if anything? Go ahead, whoever it was.
I was just going to say, I think Alwyn would just put his hand on her forehead, because, you know, that's what my mum always did, you know.
Yeah.
And check if there's some sort of fever or something.
Nothing, you know. If you do so, I guess first off, like, Katerina, do you let him do that, or do you kind of recoil?
I probably recoil at first. It's I feel fine, but I mean, it's Alwyn. It's not like he's trying to.
Yeah. So, healing is an advanced skill, isn't it?
I've got heal.
Oh, then give us a.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a. Let's make it an average healing check or heal check, please. Yeah, like, she's neither warm nor cold. She's not clammy. Like, you didn't touch that that courier that you met, but she definitely, like, now that you're able to see in, like, it's either an early stage or a much less severe version of whatever the guy had. She doesn't feel too hot or too cold. She's not feeling sweaty or whatnot, at least no more so than you would be after a good night of drinking and playing games.
Yeah, I'm concerned you might have caught something from that courier. You were the only one that interacted, and
so did the innkeeper, and someone else was talking. Someone else. Oh, you guys were.
Yeah, I chatted with
everyone else was chatting with them.
I'm fine.
But didn't you inspect him after his passing?
Oh, the parcels too. We have these parcels. Maybe there's something about those.
Are you carrying them, Katerina?
I'm probably carrying them. All this stuff, yeah.
You were.
Well,
because you were the one that was least encumbered, right? So you were the one who was.
The sooner we get rid of these well-traveled things, the better.
Or maybe we should have a closer look.
They're sealed, though.
Well, they can be unsealed.
But then, then we wouldn't get paid, but if that's not a consideration.
Well, you agreed to complete his carriage, so I'll leave that up to you, but...
I will see if Shalia gives me any insight, but doesn't seem like it's...
Okay.
Well, it strikes me the easy way to find out is somebody else carries
it. Yeah, tomorrow someone else carries it.
I don't mind carrying it. Well,
that'll encumber you. Let's take a look. What happens with encumbrers? Does it just slow you down, or do you get fatigue?
I guess if we're on a boat, though, it won't be so much of an issue.
Yeah, you wouldn't be carrying it, really. Let's see here. Endurance. Encumbrance. Here we go. Encumbrance and travel fatigue. Game, you're speaking my language here. Holy smokes. Encumbrance. Here we go. Characters who exceed their encumbrance capacity may be slowed and will become fatigued by travel. If you are up to your limit, no penalties. If you're up to double your limit, it's -1 movement, -10 to agility checks, and +1 travel fatigue. Up to triple your limit, 2 travel fatigue, -20 and -2, respectively, to agility and movement. More than 3 times you're not moving.
You just get slow.
Yeah, so like you would be, and again, like you're not carrying it all day if you are able to get a travel on a barge or a boat of some kind up the river. So yeah, those are the 2 options. It is sealed in kind of packaging right now. It appears to be a box from the way that it feels through the packaging. You're right that the seal would be broken, but this is the old world. You would not be the first courier to take a peek inside what a package is and decide whether it's more valuable to deliver it or to keep it.
That's Alwyn's feelings, but it'll go with the group's decision.
Well, we'll see. I mean, probably maybe if it is a package, and that seems to be the common thread, then someone else. Alwyn, you can carry it. If it affects you, well then, I guess then we'll decide then.
Yeah. Well, we'll make that decision in the morning. Then I'll carry it tomorrow.
Okay.
But then if we're just going to deliver it to Salzamund, I mean, then again, if it's affecting me like this.
So the one we haven't talked about who the recipient is for it too, but
right.
it is apparently a river woman by the name of.
Must have a lot of money to have it with traveling from Estalia, you said?
Oh yeah, like to be delivered all the way from Estalia. And that's at least Estalia. Yeah. Her name is Gele. Gele. And Frederick would definitely know this because he's the most familiar with Salzamund. There's, probably a 30-40% chance that you would find the person there immediately, because there are river folk. They may be traveling up and down river, so you may have to keep the thing for a day or two before, or for a time at least before it's delivered. But yeah, you're not wrong. Like the idea that someone has the money to have something delivered from that far away, there's got to be a story behind that.
Yeah, and we don't want to go spoiling the deal, do we? Ideally.
Yeah, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth quite a lot of money, I should imagine, for that distance. Yeah. So, me as a player, I think it's connected to that, but I'm not convinced Alwyn's clued up enough to put the association. So, we'll test the theory maybe tomorrow. Okay. So he'll sleep with it. He'll take it off Katerina and put it with his belongings next to him in Astrid to guard it.
So, and Katerina before bed has prayed to Shalia for guidance on this. It may not surprise you then, Katerina, to find you're not sure how you got here, and it's certainly not a place that you have ever been before. But you are standing facing a vast desert. Sun-bleached sands, brilliant with the reflection of the sun beating down from above, and seemingly stretching out for as far as the horizon before you. You're standing barefoot here, the hot sand burning the soles of your feet, the sun baking down. And if you spend time under here, you are likely to be as red as the lobsters caught in Eiger Bay by the end of today. And there is not a single cloud in the sky No promise of rain in this sun-bleached land. And you turn. And what you see before you is stretching down below. You are standing at kind of a prominence in the top of a sand dune. And what is below and before you, a long stretched area of badlands, rocky, reddish brown rocks exposed, and among them ruins of a city built with reddish baked clay, now centuries if not millennia abandoned. But what particularly catches your eye, because it is something that you remember reading about in one of the scarier children's stories, is the towering structure of stone that is at the center of this partially exposed ruin. And it is a huge stone pyramid. Brilliant white, reflecting the sun as it bakes down. And while you cannot see any moving form among those long abandoned ruins, you can feel in your chest something ancient stirs under there. And that's when you hear the sound of someone complaining in the common room, a really loud kind of clearing of their nose as they wake up, and you're awakened from your dream. Katerina, it appears that Shalia has come to you. You don't typically have those types of very vivid, very specific dreams. You can almost feel the fading heat on your shoulders from where the sun was beating down, and the pain of your bare feet on those scorching sands.
Do I know the name of that place?
The legends say, while there is, in the old world, you refer to the region just as Araby now, there is a lost ancient civilization that is really, unless you've got training in a specific ancient,
no, just
lore, then you probably don't know more
Theology
than just
empire.
It would be the distinctive. There are certain things that are just characteristic of this culture. Nehekara, the distant and long-lost land of pyramids, jackals, and the blackest of magics. I'm not sure you've ever thought of Nehekara, at least not in a area of study. It is definitely not something that you've mentioned as something that your character is particularly interested in, whatnot, and you're about as far away from the lost lands of Nehekara than what you can get and still remain in the Empire. So why the hell did you dream of that?
Yep. I guess in the morning, while we're getting ready to get going and find our passage, I ask Frederick and Alwyn, have you ever heard of Nehekara?
Well, can't say as I.
Apart from like the generalities, it's sort of like if you happen to have, I'm trying to think of how that might have come up for you guys. Probably not. Because like it wouldn't be the source of like boogeyman myths or whatnot. You guys grew up in Salzenmund and Middenmark, or not Middenmark, in Middenheim, respectively. So neither of you are really. Your parents wouldn't use that as the boogeyman to scare you or anything like that, and it's unlikely that you would have come across that stuff. So you may be aware just of the name of a far off, distant land. But that's really it. Katerina is the one who really has the most insight because she would be the most educated among you.
Yeah, it's not. I can't imagine Frederick knowing of the place.
No, not me.
Strange thing for her to ask about in the morning, though.
Yeah, what? Yeah, why? Anyway, Katerina, what makes you ask?
I had a weird dream, and that's all. I'll describe it. I did pray to Shalia because I was troubled by my weariness that seems to have no illness attached to it. We suspect that's package, which is from faraway land. I did pray to Shalia, whether it's coincident or not, I do not know. But I had this dream of this place, and all I remember is the word Nehekara. I think that's how you pronounce it, on the wind. And I saw this, this ruin, this ancient city, this, I guess it's called a pyramid. I describe it.
Yeah.
We don't really have pyramid. We have a stone mound, but like irregular, like regular shaped.
Yeah, like I think there are ziggurats that like sorcerers build in this, but like this is one of the unfortunate carryovers from the pulp roots of the old world, is like anything non-European vaguely is evil and insidious in this. But the pyramids are just a specific distinction for the Nehekaran culture. What you can do, Katerina, why don't you give us a challenging history of the Empire or lore of the Empire?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many tales of Lustria we've heard, because I think they have pyramid,
Yeah, there's ziggurats, I think, in...
yeah. They might have heard.
That's shipping, by the way. That's actually shipping. I got a notification. So print copies of that will be out soon. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I wonder if I should... Well, I mean, that means Dragon's Lair will get it. I like to get my stuff from Dragon's Lair.
That's great of you to support the...
Plus, they have bits in order. So
exactly.
I bought I bought Sea of Claws and Lustria already, but the PDF. But I get a free PDF anyway if I buy it at Dragon's Lair. So.
Nice. That's a great... Bits and Mortar's a great program.
Like I got a free PDF of the Wrath and Glory box set.
Nice.
Do you have that? Have you looked at it?
I do. Yeah. I picked it up.
Oh.
Critical success. Fucking great. So, any player knowledge you have about Nehekaran necromancy and the prevalence of necromancers in the Empire who have been historic threats is free for your character to make an association. You would know that death magics.
Yeah, and... like armies of skeletons, right?
Armies of skeletons, tomb kings, all sorts of just horrible. I think that doesn't necessarily speak to the knowledge of Nehekara itself, but the way that it has impacted on Empire, the Imperial history.
From being from Reichland too. I mean, it's close. It's on the border, right? So
yeah, and there's at least, I mean, like you got like the border princes and whatnot
the
between,
library
right?
Uber's Reich has fanciful tales and
that's it. Like it is the source of Nehekara was their study of necromancy, and it's Dar, I think, is the black wind, right? Yeah, Dar. They are notorious for that. It is because they mastered that specific wind of magic, it means that a lot of people who happen to dabble in those forbidden arts are delving into Nehekaran secrets and Nehekaran lore.
Well, with that knowledge, maybe we should just destroy this thing if we think it's coming from that. I probably shake a little bit as I kind of think, oh, now it's coming back to me. I remember reading, tales like maybe they're fanciful, but if this is of tomb kings and ancient necromantic sorcerers leading armies against the southern reaches of the Empire and, I don't know, other countries. But definitely south of Estalia.
Estalia also has contact with Araby, which means that if this thing came through Estalia, the package may have actually been south of whatever that sea is, the old world equivalent of...
so I don't know, do we want to give this to a Ripper woman who could perhaps be dealing in necromancy? if this is the cause. I guess we haven't established that yet.
What does she want it for? Yeah, what does she want it for?
I was going to say, should
raising
we find
raising
out
the dead
who it is?
in the lake of Salzamon?
Remember, one of the, not recent necessarily, but one of the significant historical things was that event where a bunch of fucking undead came up from that massive lake that borders on Salzamon, that Salzamon sits on the shores of.
We have allies in the Temple of Moor. Perhaps we should turn it over to them and say this courier was, I don't know.
But should we at least find out what their story is first? Maybe they don't know what the item is and it's been sent by someone, and then rather than they requested it, or
well, Mother Agatha as well. Remember?
Oh yeah, Mother Agatha.
She also seems to be. There's a strange.
But do I want to bring death to like a house of healing? I don't know. That's the question.
Well, she also seems, from what you've gathered, like she's involved with what you expected in other regions in Salzamon. But with that last meeting you had with her, remember she was meeting with others. The Church of Shalia in Nordland may be a little more proactive than what you're used to. Not just treating wounds, but trying to prevent it. Right? Normally, like the type of like internecine, whatever struggles between nobles in this land, they would leave it to the Sigmarites to deal with that nonsense, right? But they say
totally go whip warrior priest then.
Nice. It's not. I mean, there's more to look. There's definitely from that last meeting you had with Mother Agatha. They do more here, it seems, than simply just healing people who are sick. It's also preventative illness. And when, not for nothing, when one of the threats of illness is a ruinous power, you sometimes need to do more than just treat the plagues of Nurgle. You need to uproot the cause of it. So, and necromancy.
Inquisitor of Shalia. Right.
Exactly. Oh my God. Where's her hammer? Oh no.
It's a staff.
Yeah.
But this river woman who wants this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'd rather. Maybe we should inquire about. I don't know. It doesn't exude anything though, does it? I mean, this box.
None of you guys are mages. You don't have the second sight ability. Although
we don't.
You know what Frederick would tell you? Let me just double check one thing. I know it's true of high elves. I don't know if it's true of wood elves. Let me double check something. Okay, here we go. It's said that elves can very commonly view, even though if they do not practice magic in any capacity whatsoever, many of the elves, both wood and high variety, have the ability to see the winds of magic with second sight. Right.
Yeah, those pesky elves, they always ruin my magic traps.
I mean, if we want to find some elves, I bet that guy I bought the arrows off, he'd know where to find an elf. I reckon. He seemed quite interested in all my talk of elves. And
so, I forgot to ask Kevin. So, in this town, does halflings just live here, or are they like? Is there some sort of halfling cooking convention, or is that why?
No. They're actually like there are halfling. There is what Frederick is going to tell you is that there is an actual community or several communities of farmers north of Odenleitz, where they have some farms that grow this. The turnips don't require the delicate climate the way that some other things do. So they're able to pick shitty what would otherwise be like unsuitable for growing grains or things like that. And it also means because there's those communities, there's a larger neighborhood of halflings here than what you would expect. Also more wood elves. There's a lot of, comparatively speaking, there's a lot of wood elves in Odenleitz. Not the least because probably there's some coming from Lorelorn, but also because of the unique history of this particular city.
Yeah, we could ask them to determine. Although, hopefully they won't just like kill us because we have some sort of dark magic.
But do they know what it is, or do they just go, "Oh, that looks magical"? I mean, is it that sort of?
Probably, oh, it's magical. It's
Second
probably dark
sight.
magic.
Let's take a look at second sight.
Because I think you can see the colors, right?
Yeah, I think you can see like
right.
it is kind of color coded in this
Well, perhaps
setting.
we should just take it back and speak to your superiors and let them. They must have means that they can use to
I mean,
advise us.
we're agents of the Electric Count, though, right? So we could take initiative.
Hmm?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
the-
Let's go. Oh, let's ask the elves. The elves will know. That sounds like a great idea.
We're the hounds of the shipwright's arms, after all.
Yeah, so when you have second sight, you can use appropriate skills with your etheric senses, most commonly intuition, perception, and track. For instance, you could use a magister following the trail of a fleeing witch could make a track test following the faint traces of Dar in the witch's path rather than the literal footsteps. That is very cool.
I think this kind of could suggest a short-term goal, though.
Yeah.
Get to the bottom of this.
Oh yeah,
box.
absolutely. As far as XP is things, if you guys want to figure out what the heck, like what this thing is, that's definitely a short-term goal.
Yeah, because my long-term goal, our long-term party goal, we decided was to figure out what this red mist and dreams and people turning berserk was.
Yeah.
But we lost our short-term goal. Oh, we completed our short-term goal, but
it ended.
but it ended.
It's
so
like how
we need
someone
another-
describes when they left. I have a colleague who recently changed jobs, and they're like, "So I'm not working so and so anymore," and that was the extent of what they said. I'm like, there is, by saying so little, you've said so much about what just happened. So
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. Absolutely.
Okay. I know.
Let's ask the elves.
Yeah, I say let's talk to the elves.
Okay. So then
So I want to see what Kevin's elf voice is like.
it's going to be very much like most of my other hoity-toity voices, I think. The gnome voices are definitely going to be. My goblin voices, my God, am I looking forward to that.
Uh-oh.
Or my orc voices. Orc voice.
I have a good gnome voice. I have a good gnome voice, but we have to play World of Warcraft again. That was fun.
I love we got to use 40k orcs in our Rogue Trader campaign.
Nice.
And holy fuck, was that fun. They are great.
Did you do like a Irish?
It's a football hooligan. It's a South
totally.
London, my best effort at doing a,
It sounds like Dick Van Dyke, the best rendition of a English accent ever.
Watch clips from the Football Factory and watch that.
That's for Colin's benefit.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a big Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins fan.
So it sounds like you guys will be spending at least another day in Odenleitz before carrying on. So that sounds like a great way to leave our session for the day.
Plus that slow dwarf and that ne'er-do-well priest of Manon might be able to catch up to us.
Yeah, and it will give Tulver an opportunity to recover a little bit as well. So in most games, what we do is, like, if you're not here, then we don't, you don't recover. I'm inclined, because of how punishing or because of how hard it is to recover, I'm inclined to let kind of the person make the rolls anyway to try and recover, as an exception to our normal rules. When I'm at your disposal, guys, like, what would you?
I mean, I think if we see him the next time we play, then just have him catch up on the rolls, like a couple days.
Yeah,
rolls,
that's what I'm thinking. So he won't get XP or whatnot. Like, you only get XP by playing, but that will at least avoid a situation where a player's away for an extended length of time that comes back and they're still as fucked as what they were when we left them.
Yeah.
Right? So there's plenty of other ways I can fuck you guys over. Like, just, God, you don't even want to know what's in that box. So
the fact that we've been in this town for over a day now as well means I can attempt to do the local accent with my mimic talent if I want to.
Yes.
Embellish my stories with some local regional accents.
Yeah, and if you're choosing to spend a little bit of time, we can transition into endeavors. You could take a week here. I mean, you're going to want to get word to Salzenmund about what's happening.
I feel like I need to do my endeavor in Salzamoon to get officially ranked up.
Okay.
Because I'm like a field promotion.
Yeah,
priest right now.
Like you could try and track down a wizard, but wizards in general are kind of rare as hen's teeth in the old world. And there's so many elves here. That's why I thought immediately of the second sight ability of elves.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah,
So-
and they're also they're one of two things. They're either cultists of some other chaos power, and at least Shali would think this, knowing what's going on in Uberstrike, or they're just beholden to the man anyway, which is the Guild of Arcane Lore or whatever it's called. They're gonna report to some hoop-de-doo, and then some wizards are gonna come and take all our stuff, and then put us in a tower or a dungeon.
Yeah, and you have technically transported this too. So if you have a more, if it is something that is illegal or whatnot, you could foresee them twisting that to then. You're transporting this stuff, so therefore, it doesn't mean anything to them. What's a bunch of peasants being tossed? I mean, Katarina is a little bit of merits a little bit more consideration, but for Frederick and Alwyn, who the fuck are you guys?
Yeah,
off to prison for necromancy, you guys.
So I'd rather talk to elves.
Okay, perfect.
It should be fun. It should be fun to see if our dwarven player comes next time, how that turns out.
Yes. Yeah, although I think he landed, didn't he, on not really having an opinion one way or the other?
Yeah, I think so.
Towards the elves, which is really cool. So great. Well, guys, you get your usual XP. It's what, 100 or 150?
Yeah, 100.
100. Okay.
100.
150 is in Rogue Trader. Great. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for today's session of our Salt, Silver, and Sin campaign. As is always the case, that darts and thing in particular, the wrestling was pretty fun too. But darts was way more interesting than I thought.
That was exciting because you got exactly what you needed. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. So then, and there's another 6 or 7 different pub games we haven't even tried yet. So there's always gonna be something neat to do in a pub for this game. So as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There is also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to Warhammer games in general. We run quite a few of them nowadays on the channels, and you can find us over there, as well as we have channels dedicated to most other games we run on the channel, most of the other campaigns on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great stuff like GM discussion, or video game discussion, or virtual tabletop information, or just generally, there's a really nice community that's built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us over there. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a great selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. And if you make a purchase normally of $10 or more, you can enter the code MuserWinter. It's listed down below in the description of the video to save yourself 10% in your purchase. But at present, they have a sale going on that is much more generous than the 10% discount. So if you're listening to this contemporaneous to this for the next month or so, they have their winter sale going on, and there's some really great deals there. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can often put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. They refresh their stock pretty quickly, so you can often get it. Although I got an email on my want list. I've been waiting to fill my Conspiracy X 2nd edition, and I was away from my phone. So once again, got an email. It was notified. I did not notice it for a couple of hours, and when I went to go it, someone else already got it. So it is good. I tell you, the panic that I had when I was getting my limited edition monster manual for 3.5, because that thing came on, I was like, ran out of bed and ran to make the purchase. But in any event, if you're listening to this after that time, the code will change. Discount code will change in April of 2024. So if you're listening to it after that time, come back and find the more recent discount code in the video listed below. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising game campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children around the world. And you can learn all about their activities by following that link. And all donations that go through that link go directly to them. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And for the first half of the year, we were running a series of charity sessions selected by the donors, and our next one is later this afternoon, where we will be playing Free League's excellent Walking Dead universe RPG. So I'm really looking forward to that. We played 2 weeks ago. We played Godbound for the first time, and in March we have 2 sessions of Dragon Age. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But after that, we will be doing something to thank the donors this year. The first half of the year is just taken up by this. So if you have made any donations to that, not only does it go directly to them, we will be having ways of thanking the generous donors. I don't know what that is just yet. It'll be something probably close to what we did last year, where donors will be able to vote on the charity sessions for the second half of the year. Just right now, we are going through our individual charity sessions. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart players. So Darren, Colin, and Carl, thank you so much for joining me this morning. You know, the thing I remembered, I don't know why I was struggling with it, but I was yesterday and today I'm thinking of like, okay, what are we going to do today? What's going to happen? Like, what do I need to plan? What do I need to prepare for this thing? I need to have some stuff ready. And I forgot that this game, I think my favorite way to run this is very much like our Traveler campaign, where we're just spending time in the world. And there is goals that you guys are working towards, but the interesting thing in play is whatever is going on that you guys choose to do by interacting with the world. So thank you for that helpful reminder of what I enjoy about running this game so much. We'll be back in Odenleitz to see what's in the box. What's in the box in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes are apparently transporting around the Empire unaware. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.